everybody. Welcome to another episode in the Inner Circle. I have with me a special guest. He has left deep influences in the way I approach fitness and how I prepare myself for performances and just even regular practice. He is the co-founder and owner of 5E Holistic Fitness Studio in Alsur, Bangalore. He is a cricketer who has played at the junior level in Karnataka and has been a strength and conditioning coach for Ranji level team. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Hello, Rahul. What does strength and conditioning offer a person that plays sports in terms of how do you structure the system that protects them from this kind of impact?
So first and foremost thing, you can never stop an injury. You can reduce the chances of an injury. So if a person's being injured over and over, you can get down the number of times he gets injured. Because a sport or Bharatanatyam is such that it is not a controlled thing. Like you keep going. When a human body is put under so much of stress, which it shouldn't be, because it's unnatural. The amount of recovery is the most important thing. So how you plan your sessions out, like you do 4 sessions of if you're doing 5 sessions of your dancing in the morning, you at least give 2 or 3 sessions of your weight training. But it shouldn't be that your dancing also is high intensity, your weight training is also high intensity. There will be a clash. So if you're saying you're going in with a heavy one day, like heavy strength day on Monday, you give a eased out session on Tuesday, you give a eased out session for your dance on Monday, go heavy on Tuesday for your dance. So every alternate day you keep shifting. Don't do 2 high intensity sessions. So that will get down your a lot, like injury rate a lot.
I see. So there are a lot of different strategies then. You don't just launch yourself into the gym and say, okay, I'm going to be, doing strength training with all these heavy weights and then come back, get into your practice clothes for dance on the following day, do whatever it is that is on the plate without really thinking about how to balance. You would caution dancers from getting into something like that.
Yes. So what we see like visually of someone else, like someone going on the road seeing you, like they'll be like, oh, she's been hitting very heavy, she's been training very hard every day. But they don't understand that every top athlete or every best dancer have their schedule, and like they know when to hit hard, when to take off, when to just not do anything and just lie down in the bed and relax. So there are times, everything has its own time, everything has to be planned very well.
So true. I mean, and I'm very happy you bring that up. The downtime or recovery, as you call it in your sports world, is almost given the same importance as training, isn't it? And are there ways to nurture recovery as well so that you can launch back as strong when you're, do you have strategies for how to recover better?
Yeah, we normally use in a sport or in the terms of when we work with an athlete or something, it's like you work them to an extent wherein they can't take it. And then you give them 1.5 weeks of deload.
Deload?
Deload.
What is
Deload is something, it can be 50% of what you were doing in the previous week.
I see.
So if you're saying first week you did 5 sets, 7 sets, 10 sets, you can't take it anymore. We know that you're going to break down. So the way we know you're going to break down, one, you are not able to do as many repetitions or load that you were doing previous week, or your sleep cycle gets affected, or you're very anxious, your mood gets you'll get like angry, or you're drowsy always, or your food. So food is like, some people like, I used to eat so much, now I'm not able to eat, or some people are like, I just keep eating. So these are the things which you need to monitor. Okay, you're reaching something called as overtraining phase. Then you give them a deload of whatever third week they have done, just to 50% of it. In that deload week is the most important week wherein you give good nutrition and food. That is where they grow. They don't grow in the first 3 weeks.
Okay.
So you're like, if this is your chart, once you start training, it starts coming down. At the point, you need to know where to stop. From there, you feed it. It will go above your whichever level you were in, it'll go above it. If you don't know where to stop, you'll keep going down.
I see. And by going down, you mean in your performance, in your
Everything.
reaction time, and in just your brain's ability to cope with
Yes.
the punishment you're putting into your system.
Yes.
And that is a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Yes,
If you just keep
100%.
going down that path. Wow, it seems like there's a lot of details that you would, as a strength and conditioning coach, need to look at when you're designing programs and offering advice for your clients.
Yeah, we need to take care of how much they are working out. When I say workout, it's their dance. Like for you as a dancer, it's more of how much are you performing. When at the same time, when are you gonna perform? So we'll have to take care of both. So we have to see when are you gonna now it's May. So if you're performing in September, I'll have to start planning it right now. When am I going to peak? When am I going to deload? When am I going to taper your training so that you perform the best on that particular day? So you can never be like, okay, train as we'll make them fit throughout the year. It'll never happen. So you know when your performances, you plan accordingly 3-4 months or 6 months, 1 year. Like Olympics, they plan 4 years before. We think that Olympians they keep training throughout the year. No, they have their schedule. 4 years they plan. First year, okay, we're going to work on this. Second year, we're going to work on that. Come back, work on this. So they have their particular schedule which goes on. So same way as a Bharatanatyam dancer, even you all know when your show is. So depending on that, we start planning your programs. And planning of the programs, because you won't be performing as much. Like I'm saying, as I told you in September, so you won't be dancing as hard in May. You'll start dancing as hard at the last month.
Right.
So then I can't be, as a strength and conditioning, I can't be like, oh, no, you have to do strength. So I'll have to taper down and come into a stage wherein you just maintain whatever you have. You perform there.
So the journey for an athlete is in some ways very similar, because you have matches, you have goals that you have to reach. Now, what happens in the case of somebody that has, not just a performance 3 months from now, but someone that is continuously in that circuit of either matches or performances, where their body is getting that punishment every so often. What might be some strategies that they could use? Do they have to, apart from balancing, like you were saying, the strength with the dancing, is there anything else that they should be doing?
Recovery, like something like an ice bath. People, you won't find ice bath everywhere.
Ice bath in ice?
Yeah, so it's like a tub or a drum. You fill it up with ice. It should come up to 7 degrees or 6 degrees cold.
Okay.
And then you just need to sit in it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, how much of a long you can
So
take
this
it.
is something that sportsmen and sportswomen do?
99% of them do it. Like after every game, after every game they go into it. Or if you're playing a T20 game, it's like fast 3 hours, you're done with the game. So after that first session of batting or fielding, they straight away get into an ice bath for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, everyone, because you have 10 minutes or 20 minutes break in between.
I see.
So you go into an ice bath and then immediately get back into a game. So you're fresh, your muscles, the blood is flowing into your muscles.
Okay. And this ice bath recovery system is great for you to get back in the game. There is something that changes in their bodies.
Yes, ice bath or massages. That works brilliant. And then there's something called as contrast bath. So wherein you mix up hot and cold water showers. If you don't have anything, you don't have massage available, if you don't have ice bath available, you go into a contrast bath.
A contrast bath.
Contrast bath is 2 minutes of hot water, 1 minute of cold water.
Okay.
So
that seems
works.
reasonable.
Yeah, that works. Or at the end of the day, just getting into a nice hot shower then at the night. So that works. So those are small things that you can do when you don't have anything. If you'll have the access to ice baths or maybe a massage or something, like these are the most important things.
Sure.
Don't have anything, then get into a contrast bath or foam rolling, or just like 1 hour of stretch, go to bed.
Okay, stretching before bed.
Before bed it works.
And that is a good way to release all the stress.
Release all the stress.
Okay, that's really informative to know that there are strategies. Then even when you're punishing your body and you're just like beating it very, very regularly with whatever your performance load is.